Hi, this is Bliss Screen, NMLS 116122, hashtag the mortgage gal. You can find me at lendingbliss.com. I'm doing a series right now for realtors, particularly those who are new to the industry as it pertains to lending and all the many options you have to advise your clients as they are looking to purchase homes and or investment properties. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing closing cost. It's very important that your client understands closing costs before they engage in negotiating a contract. A lot of times in our modern society today and with technology, individual loan officers and or companies make it a common practice to issue pre-qualification letters based on credit, and then we allow for documentation to trail later. That's not necessarily the best practice, but it is a common practice. And that means that the client may not necessarily understand their full responsibility prior to going under contract. And so some way that you could help your client to make sure that they understand what is expected of them in the transaction is just to make sure that the client has had a great conversation about closing cost. And if they can tell you how much the closing cost for their loan will be, they likely understand how that closing cost is going to manifest in their out-of-pocket expense. And that is the correlation you want to make sure that your client makes, is that the closing cost equates to a potential out-of-pocket expense. And we want to make sure that our clients are prepared for that. A lot of people think that closing costs can be rolled into the loan. And that's because for some it can. If you're refinancing your house with equity in the home, then we can add those closing costs back into your loan. But when you're purchasing a home, you do not yet own the property, and so there is no equity there for you. And so unless you're doing a particularly special loan product, like financing mortgage insurance or doing a funding fee for a government loan, the rest of the closing costs have to be paid out of pocket. So it's very important for you to understand what closing costs are, how much they will be for your transaction, and where those funds will come from. The seller can pay all, some, or none of your closing costs. Whatever the seller agrees to pay in your negotiation, the rest of that will be your responsibility to bring to the transaction. If you qualify for down payment assistance, the down payment assistance program that you qualify for may allow you to use a portion of that for your down payment and or closing costs if your lender participates with said down payment assistance program. You can get your down payment and or closing cost from your own funds, right? Which is preferably preferred from your savings. You can get it from a relative, a family member, even a church or an employer. We call those gift funds. So those are the most traditional sources of where funds to the transaction come from. And there's two things that every buyer is responsible for: your down payment and your closing costs. Even when you're doing 100% financing and the loan program in and of itself does not require you to pay a down payment, maybe like in a USDA loan or a VA loan, or even a lender portfolio loan where they offer 100% financing, you still have to take care of the closing costs. And so you'll either need to negotiate your seller to pay as much as possible or be prepared to pay outside of your pocket. If you need help planning for your next mortgage home loan transaction, I would love to talk to you and help you with those plans. My name is Bliss Screen, NMLS 116122, and I can help you and those you know in 50 states. If you know someone who needs this message, please do share it, and I hope you are well and safe during this time. Thank you.